Hi there, my name is Ginny Mills and this is Parenting Through Addiction. Now my hope and your hope is that you don't need any of this, that you as a parent are not needing to learn how to parent differently in order to survive a son or daughter's addiction. My hope and your hope is that your son or daughter is using drugs or alcohol, but maybe has not progressed to addiction. And I understand the desire for that to be the case. And so this particular video series is entitled, You're Not Sure It's Addiction. What you are sure is that your son or daughter is using drugs or alcohol, and that you're scared, you're angry, you're hurt, you're outraged that after all the conversations that you've had as a family, your son or daughter has made the decision to use drugs or alcohol. Maybe it's the first time that you've been aware of this, or the 100th. I don't know. What I do know is that you've made a conscious decision to learn more in hopes of being able to create some opportunity to change the outcome of this and do everything you can to learn to know how to help and how to not make things worse. So congratulations for being a proactive parent. It does make a difference. And I want you to know that I hope through this video series and the other materials that are available through the membership that you're able to learn some things, get some experience through this process of watching the videos and the external content, and that you get some experience of inspiration, hope, education, and resources. So the fact of the matter is that experimenting or even socially using alcohol or other drugs is a pretty normal part of adolescence or young adulthood. Intellectually, I know you know that. I also know that you probably hoped or maybe even expected that that might not be the case for your son or daughter. But here you are. The truth is that marijuana is the new Budweiser. Depending on how old you are, Budweiser or Michelob or Tequila Sunrises or PJ, any number of things might have been a part of the normal adolescent introduction to alcohol in your life experience. Marijuana may or may not have been readily available, but never like it is right now. Marijuana is probably more available to your son or daughter than that Budweiser ever could be, because there's stricter regulation of alcohol sales now. I can remember buying alcohol for myself as a 16-year-old at a local convenience store. That would never happen now without some, shenanigans and fake IDs or older brothers or older friends to help make that purchase. So marijuana is actually easier to access, and quite frankly, it's actually less dangerous than alcohol. Depending on your state, it has different legal implications, but in all states, alcohol and marijuana are both illegal for anybody under 21. So in many cases, those of you who are watching this video have sons or daughters who are under 21, and so the illegality factor is the case simply because of age. Sometimes early use is a part of a natural rite of passage, trying to be a grown-up, trying to fit in, trying to move on to the next stage of development. Sometimes it's the beginning of addiction, but not always. And it's really important that you not panic and assume that this is the beginning of an addiction. Now, certainly, everybody who got addicted started at a place similar to this, but that doesn't mean that it necessarily progresses. My goal for you in this process is to have a chance to learn some information and see if you can begin to tolerate the test of time. Because the fact is that there is no test for addiction. We don't have a blood test or a CAT scan or a brain scan that can, look like an x-ray and say, oh, there it is, there's the addiction. Yes, sir, here is your alcoholism. So we need to make some changes because we can see it in this test. Well, we don't have a test like that. The only test that we've really got is the test of time. And so in time, a person's substance use will either stay the same, get worse, or get less over time. And so you as a parent are needing to tolerate the test of time and wait to see what happens. Wait to see if the symptoms of addiction emerge, if things get better, or if this situation simply stays the same, and while that may be uncomfortable for you, at least it's not progressing. And so in our time together, you're going to go through a series of lessons that will introduce you to a subject matter. You'll have a video lesson. If you prefer to listen in your car, there's an opportunity to access an audio lesson. Or if you're a reader or you prefer to review the material after your partner has gone to sleep beside you and you don't want to have headphones in and you prefer to read, we will eventually have all of the lessons transcribed. We may not have them at the time of this that you're watching this video, but it'll come. We'll also have some external content and some worksheets for you to complete as a way of taking the information that you've heard in the lesson and apply it to your own situation. Parenting Through Addiction is not a counseling service. It's an education service and a consultation service. You have the opportunity to get the information and apply it independently to your own circumstances. And hopefully that will give you enough to be able to know how to proceed with taking care of your son or daughter and learning how to parent in a different way. Ultimately, you may decide that you want some additional resources available through one of the higher levels of membership, including some individualized consultation services, which are much more expensive, but obviously allow for some interaction, not simply the one-way delivery of information through the video lessons and the courses in the membership. But I want to invite you to settle in and proceed on through the lessons in this particular course entitled, You're Not Sure It's Addiction. I look forward to working with you. I'm Ginny Mills. Let's get started.